Hello and welcome to tonight's game in ESEA Season 40 Open. We've got WRAHEsports against Octopus team. I would have thought they'd be Team Octopus, but I guess Octopus team works as well. And I mean, we're hitting the tail end of the season now, so both these teams will be vying for one of the last playoff spots. They're not quite there yet, but I think if WRAH can get this win here, they'll be a lot closer and a much better spot to do that, as Raven goes aggressive in apartments, finds Doxy, spots a second as well. It's some good amount of information there to give over to the CT side. And Pichon spotting out half wall, fires a few shots, gets a bit more information, calls over to rotates, but he has to drop off himself. He's going to get completely overrun otherwise. There is a smoke, but Falcon, he's not quite gone for it. Oh, this might just be a fake, and a good one added. Although Adrenaline now taken down, they might just realize that the jig is up. As the smoke plumes on long, there's still two men here, and through the smoke, the damage they're doing is more than significant. There is no second smoke here to cover off library and such. The plant will be safe. And a gush onto Tofi. And Tofi? On Tofi. And I was lying, there was a second smoke for Moto. So they've dropped that now. Going to whittle away that precious time that the CTs have to get that bomb defused. There is a kit available on Tofi. And in the meantime, all the T's have vacated the site, although Raven and Pichon finding one apiece, making it a 5v1. And Rura, I mean, he's going to try, finds the gush, but no kill. Ooh, finds himself a first, will get taken down right as the bomb gets defused. Doesn't look like that was after time though, so he'll be okay on lost bonus. The bomb plant going to help him put in a little bit of a better buy as well. And, I mean, Octopus gets the first round. They've also got a very good buy of their own, having not lost any players. And, I mean, I think it was Team Ace almost? Not quite, but close to. So we've got the FAMASas, we've got the MP9s, we've got that 1M4 on Pichon, and everyone's got helmets, everyone's got utility. This is a really good buy coming through here for the CTs. The utility down Banana, is it going to force them out of position? It does eventually. And the nades cause a little bit more pain. They swing wide of the half-hole Brian and Toby with the MP9s cleaning up the server at the moment. As well, it's already a 5v2, and there's still a minute 23 on the clock. This is crazy. Oh, I might have to lower the volume a little bit. I'm not entirely sure how the volume mixing is going, but it's hitting the red a little bit, so just reduce that a little bit. And you know, I mean, normally I'd be worried, but I've got time. It's a 5v2. WRAHEsports don't really look in a good spot to contest for anything. Their best option is to save, because they have zero money in the bank, and they're not getting the bomb plant this round, so there's very little that they can do. They might actually try, though. And Tofi taken down. He's still got one in dark. Maybe going to wait for the rotates to come through. He's not showing his hand just yet. And they will clear him eventually. The scout not really there to try and get it done. Adrenaline trying for another. Can't quite find the kill. And Octopus team make it a second. It was a little bit messy there. You know, they got themselves entries onto the B side. Not enough time to get that bomb plant, but not bad overall, honestly. But Octopus are in a good spot to make this a 3-0 lead. It is a pistol coming through here from WRAHEsports. P250s, one Deagle. And then Doxy, who has gone in with no investment whatsoever. Might be the Opper. No, I think Falcon's the Opper, so I'm not quite sure what that's about. A bit of a nade stag down the bottom of mid has done a lot of damage to Doxy, but not quite taking his life yet, as they slowly advance over towards the A site. Plenty of players over in apartments to try and stop this, although they have just dropped back over towards more passive positions. I think they might be a little bit wary of close range, what the pistols really can do, especially if they've bought into the P250s, which I'm assuming they might be aware of, given some shots have rung out. But we'll see. Doxy, he's watching the rotate here. I mean, with 20 points of health, there's very little chance of him doing anything more than being a warning system. Although he's got a bit of a backup. Adrenaline is still there at the bottom of mid with him. Oh, is that? Oh no, it's WRAH. Rural. And I mean, very little is happening at the moment. Raven, he's watching the angle here. He's got a pretty good angle, and at this distance, unless the P250s are razor sharp, they've got a chance. No hello. Trying for something. The spray continuation for Pichon is very good, as he finds two of his own in rural. Now left in a 1v5 with a lone P250. They know where he is, but Famas going to take care of him. And it's 3 on the board. Another clean one coming through here from the CT side as well, though. As in these last 3 rounds, only 3 deaths have occurred on the CT side, as opposed to 15 deaths on the T side. Taking a look at those pings, that's a bit rough. 100 ping for Maddie and Falcon. That's a difficult one to contend with. Not quite sure why it would be so high. I'm guessing the server they would have chosen for this would have been able to find like a good buffer. Although maybe it's a little bit more difficult from Denmark. Again, you've got that deep smoke on Banana, which has been really popularized by G2 higher up the tiers of CSGO. And has been used to pretty good effect, although it has now dissipated. That timing is gone, and the CTs have not really tried for Banana control, playing a little bit passive inside the site and leaving the Ts with all the space in the world to try and figure out what on earth they want to do in this round, because this is the longest they've gone so far without conceding a casualty. So they're in a decent spot to do some damage. If they can all group up together, put together a decent execute, they've got the utility this time. They could maybe get something done here. Only 2 on the A site for now. That 3rd rotation has just come through, though. That is Nohelu with the Famas watching long now. So they might flash through here. Nohelu, is he hearing the swing? Is that? Oh, the flash from the CTs is perfect. Raven helping out with that. And Nohelu with the easiest first kill of his life. Completely blind, Maddie. Absolutely nothing they could do there. And now with a man disadvantage, they decide to tuck tail, head over towards B, and they might have beaten the rotation, although Brian has just been called back over towards that B site. As the smoke drops, 10 seconds on the clock, they got to clear this man over at the back of the site, because if he denies his bomb plant, if they have time for the bomb plant to begin with, what? Even before Antofi peeked out there, he cancelled and then restarted the. I mean, nice kill from Doxy onto Raven, but what a way to lose that round. And I mean, good thing they stay alive as well, because they have no money in the bank. If they go down after time, there is no loss bonus. And they would be in very dire financial straits. So it's another round on the board here for the CT side. The buy is, I mean, it's actually not great, but at the same time, they've not really had to invest more. Nohelu is still in that Famasi bot in the 2nd round. He is yet to die. Oh, and a nice nade stack onto Brian will take care of him as well, along with the spam and the smoke. So immediately a man advantage, almost doubled up on Antofi, getting close onto Doxy there. And Maddie, along with almost the entirety of the T side, has had not a great start to this game so far. 0-4 at the moment. Only 3 players have kills. And it's a good flash, but does get taken down. Nohelu, that's his first death of the game. And they've been able to bring one back, although that has brought over the rotations towards the A side. So it is a 3v3 there. Not a situation that favors the T's at all. Well-timed molly, though. Stops Raven from being able to peek into that, although they know that there's someone there now. The flash, does it come out in time? The trade is good from Raven, but the site has been cleared out. Falcon finds that kill over on long. Pichon taken down without being able to find a kill, although Falcon is on 22 HP. And Antofi now tasked with a 1v2. Difficult position to clear out as well. Has to find this first kill against Adrenaline over in Mini Pit before he can try and get forward onto the site. Multiple angles to clear, although the top of the head is spotting. Finds the kill, and now Falcon has to try and get this 1v1 done with very little health on his side. Pistol bullet would have taken him down, but he finds the headshot first. WRAHEsports finally on the board. And that was, I mean, basically a 4v3 there that went their way. Although, you know, with the entries as good as they were on that ace site, that favor very quickly switched to the side of WRAHEsports. But, you know, Octopus, they've had some very clean rounds. Haven't really conceded that many deaths, except for Brian, who's died surprisingly often. So there is still money for a buy. Again, it's not really going to be ideal. Nohelu is on that M4 finally, but even then, has to make concessions. Or, yeah, no, can't afford a helmet, can't afford a kit, has gone for that full belt utility instead. There are 2 kits available, though, on the rest of the CT, so it's not too big an issue as long as they split the kits between the sites. And, I mean, that's a decision you have to make, because you can't drop a kit yet. I don't know why you can't. It already drops when you die. Why can't you just drop it over? In the same way as you can with the bomb. I don't know. Maybe something for a future update in CS. And an aggressive rotation over towards the ace site. And Tofi is going to stay here. The nade doing 9 points of damage, not too bad. Can opt for that deep smoke on Banana as well, denying this tease that map control. And it's a big stack up here towards the ace site. They seem confident that that is where WRAH are headed. Nokia already taken a bit of a dink, but Maddie will find a kill elsewhere. 4v4 now in play. And it looks like the T's might just head over towards that B site. They haven't picked up the bomb just yet. 50 seconds on the clock. They have to be wary that that does not get the better of them, that they don't run out of time again. At least to get the bomb plant. But for the moment, Octopus, they have no idea that T's are headed here so far. Now as the smoke's dropping, everything is going to drop some counter utility, rather. Doing a lot of damage with the molly. They just decided not to care about it at all, it seems. And Adrenaline was spotting for the boost, but the timing doesn't go in his favor. Rura now left in a 1v3. Pushes through the smoke, finds the first with the surprise on his side. Which is a saying, that's not the actual saying, but I forget it every time. And, I mean, just double peeked. No chance anyways. There was very little time left in the round for him to get the bomb plant, so he had to stick it regardless. He was super vulnerable. And Octopus are back to winning ways. WRAH struggling a little bit, especially with that economy. They're back down to a pistol already. It's a 5-man Tech 9 buy, which is interesting. And kind of it gives some clues as to what exactly they're going for, which is a very, very quick round. And, well, it's worked out initially. They have themselves the opening, and Tofi taken down. They spot the second. The flash is good. And these are the best entries they've had so far, with nothing but pistols. Weapons recovered as well. The T's are in a good spot. Maddie, they seem to know he's here. The Molly's going to burn him out, if not, I mean, flush him out at the very least. Adrenaline playing up close. Nohelu seems aware of it, but up close. It's so powerful, the Tech 9. Another kill going the way of the T side, but it is a 3v2 now. Octopus have brought it back a little bit. And there's still, I mean, there's actually a decent amount of utility, especially on Pichon, to get this done with. But, ooh, Raven, I mean, he's been spotted. Now they know exactly where the AK is as well. Pichon takes one down, but there's a lineup for Rura. Takes him down in the second round on the board for the T side. Which, again, weird decision. Annoying if we don't do that, but it's whatever. We're going to go for a bit of an aggressive one here. Nohelu with the 5-7, playing up close. Not sure if he's been spotted, but Raven taking down the Opera with the Deagle long range. Pretty good shot. That's an opening that should not have gone their way, but somehow has worked out for them. And Nohelu, oh, he's found a timing there. Spotting a little bit more information. Actually gets away with not really that much damage incurred. It's another rifle being picked up as well. This is falling apart for WRAH at the moment. They won their eco, now they're about to lose to an eco as well. The momentum is shifting very, very quickly in these rounds. And they seem kind of lost. Two men down. And they don't know what to do. They've got plenty of utility, they've got plenty of weaponry, and plenty of time, but they seem kind of stuck as to what they should do. They're wary of this aggression coming through from the CT side, especially down second mid, and worried that they might do the same over on Banana, but very little exertion. Now, Octopus have realized they've got the upper hand. They've picked up a few weapons. They've got a little bit of utility to work with as well. Just play passive. You've got the man advantage. You can kind of isolate them. Raven playing here pretty far back over towards arches. More of a warning system more than anything. If they do go his way, oh, Pichon, the timing. He was watching short, and just as he moves away, Adrenaline crosses over. But the utility is going to let them know of their position anyways. And from Mini Pit, Noahelu, he is not giving anything up. Finds the first, can't find the spray on the second. Adrenaline trying for the 3K, but will get taken down by Pichon, who I think found the first kill in the round as well. Might have been Raven on the deagle. But yeah, Octopus, they bite right back, and what a load of upgrades they've got themselves on as well. They've picked up the op, they dropped the AK, but they've gotten them for, well, actually they've just been able to buy up everything else and reacquire. They dropped MP9 from last round. And I mean, the buy is still okay for WRAHEsports, even though they didn't get that bomb plant. But the reserves are running a little bit low. The nade doesn't do that much, tickles them a little bit. The stack is even less effective overall compared to what they invested into that move. Raven, I think, might have spotted one over towards second mid. Decides to drop off. Yeah, he probably saw at least one or two. Otherwise, he wouldn't be expanding utility at that pace with no real contact made on that part of the site. It's just preemptive at that point. And we've got 4 men over towards the B site for WRAHEsports. Ooh, that's a pretty nifty flash. Difficult one to counter as well, because you don't really get to react, and it's not really a part of the map that you look at very often unless you've got horrible crosshair placement. But it doesn't matter because the return flash is decent, although Antofi actually gets very little done. WRAH is brought down low, but that's about it. And now there's only a single man on the B side with the op. It's Noahelu. Very little you can do there. The spray through the smoke is decent, but Brian, ooh, he's dangerously close to being taken down as Raven also gets tagged up heavily. So it is a 4v4, but both sides are very heavily tagged. There is a Molotov for the CT side. If they drop it over towards quad, could get some stuff done. Nice swing out from Falcon to find Pichon. Aware of a second one there, but the trades are going the way of WRAHEsports. Noahelu finds one back, but it's a 1v2 now. There's very little time in the round left, and it's more valuable for him to just save the round, give over this third, and bring that op into the next round, because the money again for Octopus isn't really going to be that good. And thus, the rest of the CT side, they're going to bring in pistols again. But the pause is over. I'm guessing it was attack then, rather than the technical pause. Noahelu opting. Oh, he's not opting for the fight. Actually, he's going to take a very unorthodox angle for the op. Finds the first, tags the second as well. Falcon on the jump up. Brought down to 16 HP. Before, as they go over towards B, they've recognized there's 3 over towards A. And the flash is good. Ryan peeks out with the deagle. Gets taken down. And now with 3v3, but Falcon and Adrenaline, they're very much tagged up. Noahelu has himself a Molotov that he could use. Pichon has a nade as well that he's picked up. So if that gets thrown into the correct position, which it hasn't, it could do a lot of damage. I mean, if Noahelu drops this Molotov over towards Dark, he's already dropped it elsewhere. Quad maybe? Doxy finds it first as Pichon takes care of Adrenaline. So 2v2 and still recovers to find the fight. He's on for the ace. No, gets taken down, but Noahelu, not expecting Falcon to be in the site, gets taken down himself. And Octopus team are kind of losing ground here. WRAHEsports making a bit of a comeback here. It's good to see. And, well, the money has been zeroed out. They did force into the last round, so nothing but Nico here. And Sophie playing with the P2K, which is not a very common weapon to see, but I'll accept it, I guess. It's not up to me to decide that. And, well, the nades have not really done much at all. Raven, ooh, he's been dinked out quite low. Doxy, nice first kill. Trying to go for the spray as Raven gets taken down. Had been dinked early on through the wall. And Noahelu about to face the same fate. Not quite. Takes a fair bit of damage, though, for his troubles. And now has to reposition Falcon. He must be ready for it. But there is a chance for Noah to win out on this peak, although the timing... Oh, it doesn't work out, but Falcon gets into cover quickly enough. Missing the shots. Noah had a chance, a golden opportunity there even, with the USP, but just couldn't finish him off. And again, a B execute. They really do like this B site, and fair enough. Bit of a stack here, but they line up for Maddie, who's got himself a 3K in the round. A bit of a, a confidence booster, if you will, as they look good to maybe tie up this game. Not exactly what I would have been saying after going 0-4 with that much of a peep to begin the game, but I mean, it's a good comeback that's happening at the moment. Octopus team seem to have run out of steam a little bit, not really holding onto the sites as well as they were before. You know, hell, that could be a decent nade, but 14 points of damage. So it's not terrible, but it's not great. As they're fluffing about trying to get this boost going over towards short, they have to just deconstruct it as, well, the utility comes out and they don't want to get caught with their pants down. And Hello playing in Cubby here, finds the first, maybe good for the second. Yes, he is, spots a third as well. Might try and go for it. He's a bit cornered at the moment. Flash allows him to get away, but he's so low on health. Has to just retreat towards the back lines. But it's okay because there's plenty of CTs here over towards this B site, A site, and WRAHEsports. I mean, they're going to try and go for this A take still, even though I think they might have dropped the bomb there, which isn't ideal. Pichon? Oh, I thought he was in apartments. No, he's playing a bit of a. It's another boost coming through here. They've been a little bit inventive with their boosts over on short. Played a few positions that you don't really see very often at this level of Counter-Strike. And Raven. Well, that was awkward. Brewer does still find that kill. That Pichon has shown his hand, but they don't seem very much aware of it as he cleans up the last three. And WRAHEsports, after putting in, was it 3? Can't, like, estimate their economy. Although at the same time, normally you can tell. As Doxy? Maybe all tabs or something? That's a very interesting death. Huh. In any case, it is an opening kill for Octopus team. The flash is decent. Brewer spots one, does take a healthy chunk of, well, unhealthy chunk of nade damage. The flashes are good, and through the smoke finds the first and the second, continuing the spray. And netting both kills, maybe good for a third as well. Has done 50 points of damage to Adrenaline. And I mean, this is all behind the smoke screen. Sight not needed at the moment for Entofi. The flash to find some information over towards long as WRAH. I mean, it's just the two of them now. They're going to try and maybe find some entries over towards this B site. There is not that much utility over here. A single smoke is all that's good. And I mean, they're going to have to disrespect it. There's no utility for the T's themselves. And Entofi with the ace. Another spray continuation to finish that off. And that means that Octopus team have won out the half. So I think they'll be pretty happy with that. And WRAHEsports, I mean, the money wasn't great last round, and it's definitely not good this round. They don't have in a good spot to make it a 9-5, maybe even a 10-5 at the half. Unless another miracle happens. They've not gone for the Tech 9 strat that worked so well from last time. Maybe worrying that it's predictable at this point. But who knows. Because that would work out really well for them. They're taking their time, and again, an aggressive rotation coming through here from the CT side. 4-man A stack. Based off of what is my question? There's not been that much contact or much presence from the T's over here at all. Ooh, that's a nice nade onto Falcon. I love myself chunky nades. I wouldn't take one myself personally, but when I spectate it, it's always so satisfying. And this is a big stack over Raven. I mean, nothing he could do. Doxy does find himself a kill. And with a taste of their own medicine, Antofi will finish off the round with a P250, finding another 3K, putting him up on 14 and 8, having a pretty good couple of rounds. That's 8 kills in the last 2 rounds, along with that ace that happened last time round. And into the last round of the first half we go. The buy from WRAH, I mean, it's alright. Very little offensive utility they can use to either force anyone back or flush anyone out of like the cubby and stuff like that. It's a single nade goes that way, and it's now been expended. The Molotov from the CT side goes wanting, but it doesn't really matter. Brian and Antofi taking advantage of the fact that WRAH just run through the smoke. We're probably hoping that the flash had landed a little bit better than it did, but wasn't exactly the case. So they get taken down with relative ease and through the smoke again. This time it's Brian getting it done. Adrenaline taking a little bit of damage as well. He's just trying to play. He has made his way up towards the half wall, and I don't think they're aware of that. Yeah, trying to play the trigger discipline, but it's not just always going to be looming, so they have to be careful of that. But we are ready to get back underway. WRAHEsports need to make a mark on this pistol, need to try and find a way to win out the round and set themselves up to bring the comeback. It's an interesting setup being played here for WRAHEsports. They're very wary of how long the rotations are on Inferno, so it is very slow from the T side. Sorry, they've not made any contact anywhere so far. And there's only 50 seconds left on the clock. They've really taken their time on this one. And Adrenaline on the dualies. I realized I was still directing him rather than using the auto director, because observing and commentating at the same time is very difficult. Now contact is made. Manny going to swing out. Finds the first. Nice one tap to get that done. Pretty small amount, a minimal amount even, of damage done to Pichon. And a dinks. The gushes are coming through. There are 2 players over towards Banana as well. As Raven finds a important kill. As Antofi finding another. Noahelu on the board as well. It's a 2v2. WRAH is so low in Maddie. I mean, that's to find this kill. Does well to find the first. Antofi taken down. Going to go for the defuse as well. The smoke, perfectly timed. They have to run through it, and WRAH is watching it. Won't even go down. Finds the kill. WRAHEsports with the round on the board. It's an expensive one, but it is a round. And, I mean, this second round is going to be very important, because if they lose it now, they're going to force in after that round win. They're feeling good. They've got the momentum a little bit behind their sails. They've got the weaponry and the utility. But Octopus do as well. They got the bomb plant. They got a few kills. So, I mean, it's not the most amazing buy. It's not going to set the world on fire. But 4 smokes, 4 Galils can cause an issue to the CT side. And you have to be wary of that. Although, I mean, with the wealthy utility available on the CT side, it's going to be difficult to see how Octopus are going to even make any inroads on towards the site. Because they don't have any flashes. They're going to have to take all these peaks dry. And I guess they might just opt to go for numerical superiority, just swinging multiple people at the same time. Now the smoke comes out. Maddie's waiting for a second flash to come through that they can peek off of. And it's a good flash, but only good for one. Although, to be fair, at the same time, Antofi has been brought down very low. And so, 4v4. But, in terms of damage, the favor is more towards WRAHEsports. Although saying that, it is effectively a 4v2 over on that A side at the moment. That's not a phenomenal quality, although the flash is decent. Adrenaline brought down low, but finding the kill. Noahelu trying to find him through the smoke. They're trying to find everyone. And that's awkward, Falcon. He was not expected to just run through that smoke. It's a 2v4, or 2v2 now, sorry. Still one on the site, although it's a 1v1 now, and Falcon just takes advantage of how low Antofi was. Finds him, finishes him off. WRAHEsports with a 7th and a 2nd consecutive. For the first time in a while, And now the money is kind of broken for Octopus. Now this this comeback is starting to come through. Ooh, they've actually 4-spot in again. They didn't have that much money to begin with. So if they lose this, I guess the loss bonus is in their favor a little bit. So they might be able to reinvest at a similar level. But at that point, you're better off ecoing and bringing a very good buy into the next round. Talking with a nice opening. It does get spotted and tagged, but gets away with his life and a man advantage found early on for WRAH. What do Octopus do? How do they respond to this? Well, they respond with a B hit. They do like their B hits from the 2 rounds that I've seen so far. Maddie going on top of the fountain. Will they get spotted? Eventually, but good for one before being taken down. And the second with the scout is there as well. Brian struggling to pick up the bomb. I wonder, can you plant inside the fountain? Doesn't seem like it. Although it would be a little bit weird if you could, given its electronic device. And Tofi gets the dink on the docks as well with the scout. So now it becomes a bit of a difficult situation because, I mean, the CT side, their money's not that good either. And WRAH, if they can't get this retake done, they're going to struggle. A double dink onto Brian. Puts it into a 3v2. They're all so low. The lineup for Raven, and Brian finishes off the last player. Octopus on the board in the T side. And WRAHEsports brought all the way back down to reality. Likely nothing but pistols in this round. There's just not that much money to go around. Maybe like a UMP or an MP9 with no utility. WRAH's gone for the 5.7. Falcon spotted Mag 7, which is interesting. It looks like they might try and go aggressive over towards apartments. Very big stack over towards apartments. Are they going to bother with that? And in the meantime, I mean, the flash isn't amazing from the T side. They caught a few of their own players, and they're going to go for, I thought maybe a B split, but no, they're just going to go over towards A, circumventing the CTs entirely. Have complete control of the site, get the bomb planted, and WRAH maybe pull the trigger on the retake too soon. They should have waited for the rest of their teammates to arrive, as Maddie does find one with the deagle. So it is a 3v4 for WRAH. They're still going to struggle here, especially just because the weaponry for the T side is so much better, as Raven finds a quick headshot. Maddie with the Mag 7 finds attack, but it's not enough for the kill. Even though it was close range, and although Adrenaline will find the last player, shortly gets taken down. Octopus with 12. WRAHEsports again. Since they 4-spot into that one, even if it was like a half force, the money's gone. There's nothing they can do, and they fall right back into this hole that was threatening them at the beginning of the second half. If they lost the pistol, if they lost the conversion. They won those 2, but they've not been able to convert since, so looks like it's going to be 13-7 for Octopus team, and at that point you can feel the walls closing in on you a little bit. Although Adrenaline, it's actually very aggressive from the CT. Good for one, but does get taken down. It's a knife as well, so that's a good amount of money to go into the coffers of the CTs. And WRAH playing time, the trigger discipline does get taken down eventually. But good for a kill, so decent damage done. Nothing's brought into the next round for WRAHEsports. Nothing was able to be saved. And Octopus do make it 13, but I would call it an expensive 13. Especially regarding the weaponry they were up against. I mean, USPs, I think a single deagle in play maybe. But really not much to write home about. Oh, and Falcon had to hit that shot. The nade softening him up enough to take him down, and Maddie, either panicking or just pushed forward by the Molotov, walks right into the firefight and just not ready for it. So it's a 5v3, and this is another full buy coming through here from WRAHEsports. They don't have many of these left. If they eco next round, maybe one more, but that's up against match point, and they're playing for overtime. And at that point, the pressure starts piling immensely. And who knows how to deal with that. At this level, you might not be mentally strong enough to do that, although WRAH, fighting a nice trade back, does take a lot of damage for his troubles, though. They might have recognized that you haven't gone down towards that B site. They've heard at least 2 different types of rifles, maybe even 3. They just tuck tail over towards the A site, where there's no one waiting for them. The worst welcoming party ever. Although, technically, actually, if you think about it, the other welcoming party is with rifles. Doxy's watching for the angle, long range with the headshot. And that doesn't actually give much information over towards this T side. They don't know if anyone's rotated over. They've not been able to snuff out any of the other players. Now they just know there's one over on that A site, on that B site. They do clear it eventually. They get the bomb plant, even though it's a bit belated. And WRAHEsports, I mean, they're just going for the save. It's not a good Counter-Strike to watch. It's not very good fun to commentate over, because, I mean, they're just sitting there. But that is a reality that WRAHEsports are in. They have to start. I mean, they should have started thinking about their economy a little bit earlier than this. But, whoop, all right. That's an interesting one. Rural. I hope that didn't. Oh, okay, there's no helmets, so they're fine. I can't imagine. Imagine didn't realize that they didn't have a helmet and they just kill their teammate. Remove another rifle to be brought into the next round. That would have been a little bit unfortunate. But 14-7, and there is a pause to come through. I'm guessing it's WRAHEsports coming through with this pause, as they just try to figure out what exactly they can do. The money's all over the place. Adrenaline will really be able to take advantage of it. The rest of them won't have enough money, even with the loss bonus, to get themselves a proper buy in the next round, were they to lose this one. Again, only 2 men over on that B site. Nade not going to do much damage, if any at all. And Octopus taking it slow again. Flash comes through. But again, nothing really of note. As CT said, they're just staying put. All this utility being brought up by the T side, and there's just no response. Except for maybe that smoke over towards short. I'm not sure who threw that. But anyways, there's just so little contact being made. There's no presence from the CT side. They're just staying put. They're just turtling up inside these sites. I mean, with the scout, that's a bit of a risky maneuver, maybe. I think I'm gonna opt for a full-on save again. The Molotovs are raining down, and Raven, he's there to perfectly block off the rotations. Can put some pressure on the CTs as well, coming through from behind, making it a bit of a beast, but albeit a little bit late. Brian finding another. And now Raven is here. Doxy has no idea, absolutely nothing. I guess that wasn't communicated or something. They knew someone was there. Maybe they just assumed that he would reroute back through through mid over towards the B site. But it's fallen once more, and it's a save once again. WRAHEsports, they're struggling, and we don't like to see that. We don't like to see them struggle. The CT side hasn't been very good from them so far, though. Their T side wasn't amazing, but it was better than this. Adrenaline does find an exit kill, which is a little bit of extra pesos to put into the coffers and into potentially the last round. I mean, the money's not amazing. Doxy won't really be able to buy much better than FAMAS and some armor. Maybe some utility. Actually, yeah, no, like a fair bit of utility on top of that. About 800 bucks worth, but he's actually been dropped in them for instead. So the buy actually coming through is not that bad. There are some clear deficiencies with it. No one's got a helmet. The utility is lacking, but there are 2 kits available, so that's nice to see. And they go for an A hit. Brian, he's showing some presence over towards B. Keep him occupied, try and stop the rotations from coming through too early. Does get taken care of, and now they realize there's no one else over on B. They could rotate someone A, but I guess the word Octopus have shown a penchant for just changing up the site. Nice opening from Raven. Adrenaline and Falcon, though, do find right back. How is he still burning in that? That spread so far. And it looks like WRAHEsports might just live another day. It's a 4v2 at the moment. We'll make it a 4v1. Raven does bring it back. Ooh, make that double. But through the smoke. Now it's their turn to get killed through the smoke. Natty takes him down. And WRAH make it 18. 18? 8. 8 to 15. The money, though, on the T side is more than enough. More than enough. Absolutely more than enough. Pichon still has 10 grand. Brian's got 7 grand. Noahelu has 3.5k. I mean, that being said, though, the T side buy is very good as well. A little bit of utility being dropped over towards the top of Banana. Heckle the CTs a little bit. But again, otherwise, it's a very slow default coming through. They're just waiting for some CT aggression that isn't coming. Trying to find an opening without really having to fight much for it. And Brian remaining a nuisance over towards the B side. Does have a buddy this time round to maybe find the trade, maybe open up that B side a little bit. Ooh, it's a chunky bit of nade damage down there towards Brian and Tofi and Raven. I guess Raven was unrelated damage. Adrenaline, he's playing around with the nades a little bit too much. Might get punished by Raven, but it looks like they're going to try and go for a B hit instead. The flash is decent. Falcon finding a kill onto Raven. And Maddie holding strong over on the B side. Although some trades are coming through. Noahelu making it a 1v3. Might just try and go for the bomb plant here. There is no one really there to deny him. Although I say that, but he's actually faked. And now that time window is gone. Nice to just straight up go for the fight. Still has 20 seconds. Going to opt to go towards Banana. Hasn't spotted anyone. Finds the kill. Not quite. Rural and Adrenaline will double up to take him down. And WRAHEsports are slowly coming back into this one. The money for Octopus not as good as it was. That is a first kill going towards Octopus. I think it's the first opening they've had in a fair little while. The flash isn't very good. Rural probably wasn't expected to just be chilling in the center of the smoke. So it is back into a 4v4. That advantage that the T's had is gone. And what do they do now? Adrenaline has gone aggressive. That's Maddie here over towards the B site. Oh, that is a trade over. Over towards A. Pichon taking down Adrenaline now. And Brian finding a bit of a dink onto Maddie, who has to fall back. 50 seconds on the clock, still a 3v3 now. The utility certainly in the favor of the T side, I'd say. They've got that Molotov to help them out, and the smoke. While the CTs, they've only got 3 flashes and a nade. The issue is that all that utility is concentrated on this one person. As Pichon finds the first, not quite the second, but it has called over a rotation. And this is the perfect timing coming through here for the T side. Right as Brian just crawls into B, a quick rotation, a bit of an over-rotation even, from WRAHEsports means that the B side is completely for the taking. And by the time that WRAHEsports realize the bomb has been planted over towards B, the post-plant positions from the T's are going to be too strong. They could maybe go through Banana and catch one of them off guard, but no, they're both coming through CT, and this plays perfectly in the head of the T side. Noahelu does miss his first shot, but it doesn't matter because Brian is playing over by tree, takes him out, offering a little bit of support, and now Maddie in a 1v2 doesn't quite go their way, and unfortunately WRAHEsports do fall in the end. It was a valiant comeback, I say, on that CT side. It was 2 rounds in a row, and then it just kind of fell apart again. But yeah, I mean, I think that CT side, just the fact that they